Pattie, do you think you can ever live the life of a normal housewife now?
Yes, of course. Don't see why not.
Are you going to stay out of the limelight?
Yes.
Out of your own choice?
Yes.
And what about the family? How many children do you want to have?
About 3.
39. Give up the tape. Can I have the story of your romance? Pattie, how did it all start?
Well, we met on the set of A Hard Day's Night, and George and the others were filming it, and I was chosen to play a part of a schoolgirl by Dick Lester and Walter Shempy.
Good old Dick Lester and Walter Shempy.
Yes.
Well, I've never been for them. And take it up from there. What happened then? Well, actually, I asked Pattie out when we were making the film, and she said no, which was very embarrassing at the time, but it all worked out right in the end. And, yeah, in fact, I asked Pattie to marry me while we were making Hard Day's Night. See, so that's right.
Oh, I thought he was joking. I thought, oh, poor boy, yeah. He doesn't really mean it. I'll pretend he hasn't said it.
And it's taken you this long to convince her?
No, not really. I just sort of wanted to stake my claim on her.
John, what exactly happened at Manila Airport?
We got kicked and pushed about by some monkeys and were very frightened.
Did they come up and start physically threatening you?
Yeah,
Well,
go
on, you say
we
that.
got to the airport, and our road managers had a lot of trouble trying to get the equipment in because the escalators had been turned off and things. So we got there and we got put into the transit lounge. And then we got pushed around from one corner of the lounge to another, you know.
You treat like ordinary passenger. Ordinary passenger, they were saying. It's an ordinary passenger. He doesn't get kicked, does he?
And so they started knocking over our road managers and things, and everyone was falling all over the
They
place.
started worrying you when the road manager got knocked over.
Yeah, and I swear there was 30 of them.
What do you say they were?
Well, I saw 5 in sort of outfits, you know, that were sort of doing it, the actual kicking and booing and shouting.
Did you get kicked?
No, I was very delicate and moved every time they touched me. But I was petrified. I could have been kicked and not known it. I just know.
Getting booed.
I just never go to any nut houses again.
Would you go to Manila again, George?
Oh, no, I didn't even want to go that time.
Me too.
No, because we'd heard that it was a terrible place anyway, and when we got there it was proved.
Very sort of cowardly anyway of them, because they were obviously, you know, trying to make it rough for us and knew we couldn't do anything back because all the papers had sort of turned against us. So, you know, if they'd have started something, it would have been all the Filipinos there against us, probably.
And we couldn't even say anything on the way to the plane. Like the press was saying, some of them that hadn't quite seen it with radios, you know, they'd been waiting at the other end. Say, well, what was it like? There's a bit of booing going on with it, but never, you know, will you be back? And I was dying to say, God. But I
What you need is a
I
large...
was too frightened.
What
just
you
kept
need,
on
what you
talking.
need is like as a money so good.
As the Beatles' charter plane arrived, it taxied away from the hundreds of fans waiting at the terminal to a deserted part of the runway used only by the National Guard. A mere half-dozen teenagers evaded the stringent security arrangements. Concerned about their visit to the South, the Beatles could at least take comfort from the success of the tour so far. With only half their concerts over, they had already grossed over $500,000, and their latest single, Yellow Submarine, had sold 1 million.
Is this your first trip south?
No, we've been to Texas before.
Where are you going when you leave here?
Cincinnati, that's it.
Cincinnati, and then how long are you going to be in the States?
About two more weeks.
2 more weeks?
Yes.
What did you have for lunch?
Oh, I didn't eat much. I didn't eat much. Anyway, I must go. It's getting boiling.
All right. Thank you very much. Hey, give it 2.
Even the few teenagers who broke the police cordon never saw the Beatles. At the last moment, the police moved the group's transport onto the tarmac and left the heartbroken fans far behind.
The police lied. What did they lie about, honey?
They told us they'd come down there where we could see them.
And you came all the way out here? Now, do you have a ticket for the show tonight?
Yes.
Well, are you going to the afternoon or evening performance?
The evening.
And who do you say lied to you?
The police did.
What did they tell you, hon?
They told us they'd come down there.
And they wouldn't let you come down here? Is that anything to cry over?
When you wait 2.5 years, it is.
One of you, I believe it was George, am I right, said that you couldn't comment on Vietnam in this country, but you could in England. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
I didn't say that. Maybe one of us said that, but I didn't.
It was me. Well, I mean, you know about that anyway, you know. I mean, we could say a thing about, like John's religious thing in England, and it wouldn't be taken up and misinterpreted quite as much as it tends to get here a bit. You know, I mean, you know it does.
But
it was...
to say it again and again.
Whip
it up a bit.
The thing is, I think, you know, you can say things like that in England, and people will listen a bit more than they do in America, because in America somebody will take it up and use it completely against you, and not have many scruples about doing that. And I don't know. You know, I'm probably putting my foot in it saying that, but...
You'll be explaining for the next
Yeah,
time.
I know. Oh well, it's just wonderful here.
Tommy, why this violent reaction to what John Lennon said?
Well, I wouldn't call exactly what I have done a violent reaction. However, the Beatles for a long time have been able to, because of their tremendous popularity throughout the world, especially with the younger set, have been able to say whatever they wanted to without any regard for judgment or maturity or the wisdom of it. And no one yet has challenged them to any tremendous degree where it might count or where they might feel it.
Wasn't this a challenge like this, though? Wasn't this a serious article asking John Lennon how he felt about things? Wasn't he just being honest?
I suppose. You never can tell about him. His answers are so flippant, and his attitude is so bizarre in many instances. You never know whether he's honest or not. And honesty is a relative matter to the seriousness of the moment or the mood of the person. It would be the same as if an American group such as myself or an American singing group sounded off on the Queen and really took her to task and said who needs her and she's on her way out, and the system of having a king and a queen is ridiculous and it's shrinking and going to fade.
Birmingham people supported Tommy Charles' ban on Beatles records, and in the Bible Belt, some 40 other radio stations followed his lead. Worried that far-right extremist groups might try to become involved, Charles cancelled his plans for a Beatle bonfire, but many teenagers sent in their records and souvenirs to wacky radio nevertheless.
They said, get rid of the Beatles, ban the records, let's burn them or do something with them. And we acted, of course, on our own convictions, but we were backed up by the people, especially the younger people of this area.
Are you ever going to play Beatles records again?
Brian Epstein wanted to know when we were going to take the ban off, because it seemed that everybody was waiting for us to make the move, and they wanted to know what it would take. And I said, well, I don't have a price. It's not something that I'm waiting for the Beatles to do. I just don't know. I want them to make me change my mind about them. I want to see I want to see them grow up a little bit, I guess.